Buon pomeriggio. Welcome to Clelia's Cucina Italiana. Today we're going to do a little festivity party here. We're going to be making a nice dessert that everybody loves. I know everybody loves it. And it's called the Tiramisu, which means lift me up. Okay? And this will really lift you up. And what's so good about my tiramisu is that I don't put any raw eggs, okay? Which is very, very important. Most of the time, this kind of cake requires raw eggs, but I skip it and it comes perfect. Okay, let's get started so we can see how good it really is. I have here 16 ounces of mascarpone cheese. And it's an Italian cheese that you usually use for a lot of desserts, and you can use it for food sometimes too. But this is very, very rich. It's like almost like pure butter. So we have 16 ounces of this, which goes in. Okay. Okay, here we go. And this is really going to be a cake that you can do, or a dessert actually. It's not really a cake because you don't bake it. Okay, and everybody's going to love you for it, I'm sure. Okay, so we got every bit of this. And then with this, what we have, 3 tablespoons of Kahlua, or any coffee liqueur you prefer. Okay, 1 teaspoon vanilla, it goes in, and half a cup of powdered sugar, all goes in. Half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of salt. Okay. And we're just going to whisk this. We're going to start out a little bit slow. And the reason I use this metal, because as I told you before, I don't like to use the glass, because I'm always afraid with these things that it might get chipped or something. That's my own little crazy thing. And to that, now we add the 3 chocolate bars, which I took out a little bit, like a third of it, to put on top, because we'll put some of this on top when we finish. Okay, so I'm just putting this on gradually. So you got that, 16 ounces of mascarpone cheese, 3 tablespoons of Kahlua, half a cup of sugar, powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla and a half a teaspoon of salt, and 3 of these chocolate squares, Baker's semi-sweet chocolate squares. Okay, so that's beginning to get really, really good. Another thing I wanted to tell you, you actually have to do this the day before or very early in the morning because it has to set. So one good thing about this, you don't have to bake it. Get it all set, put it in the refrigerator, and you're all set. Okay, that's mixed. All right. Now, we're just going to take this out. Make sure we get all that nice chocolate out. Mixture here. Now, to that, we're going to add a cup of whipped cream. We're going to fold it right in. That I whipped it ahead of time, so just to save some time. Okay, that's the cup, nice and thick. Okay, you want to be nice and thick like that. Okay, so we just get it, put it in here, and just fold it in. How does it look so far? Does it look intriguing yet? It's gonna be really good, I'll tell you. And we've just put like a little bit at a time. Fold it right in. Okay, I think that's mixed enough. You can mix a little more as we go along. Okay, see? Just want you to show this, to show how it looks. See, you can see the little bits of the chocolate that I mixed, okay? Okay, now, wipe my hands here. Now we have here 2 cups of espresso coffee, strong espresso coffee, okay? And to that, we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla, okay? And to enhance the coffee flavor, I mean, you can skip this if you want to, but it really is nice. I put about a cup of Kahlua. Okay? All right, so I'm just gonna mix that. All right, and that's done. So now we get, this is a 9 by 13 size. Now you can make it smaller and cut down on the ingredients, you know, like depending on how much you have, you can cut down. Okay, but this is a nice size because, you know, especially if you have a lot of people like around the holidays, so you kind of want this size because I'll tell you, it goes really fast. It's very rich, but everybody likes it, and around the holidays. Now these cookies here are called Savoiardi cookies, and these are like, if you really can't find this, you can use ladyfingers, but this is what you actually use for this particular cake, or a sweet. I keep saying a cake, it's not really a cake, but it kind of. Okay, so then you dip it in here, and you just start assembling like that. Like I said, it's a little tedious, but well worth it. And I'm using, for this size, I'm using 5 packages. You see how high you want it. You can just do 2 layers if you want. But then the top layer is supposed to be the cookies. Okay, so you ended with the top layer with the cookies. These are very, I mean, these are good to eat like you know, for, you know, with coffee or tea if you want to. They're very sugary. When we were in Italy, my father loved birds, canaries especially, and he used to put one of these on the canary cage, and the canaries used to love this. So that's what these cookies remind me of. I always think about, you know, the canaries and this on the cage. Okay, maybe we'll just make it even, take that out. Okay, now to that, of course, we're gonna add some of this. Okay, gonna get something to just spread it. Just spread it over, like so. What do you think? Does it look good? Oh, it really is delicious, I'll tell you. It's very rich, but it's very nice. It's really tasty. I never remember anybody not liking this when I made it, when I make it for different occasions. Really nice. So to that we can put another layer, and we'll do the same thing. We'll start all over. Put 1, 2, seems to take 6. These are not really ladyfingers. They look like ladyfingers, but they're called Savoiardi, and you can. You know, you can find this very easily. Some supermarkets and Italian markets for sure. Okay, these are very popular. If you don't remember the name and you go to an Italian market, you tell them, I need the cookies that you use for tiramisu, and they will know what you're talking about because this is what you use. But ladyfingers will do. I've done it with ladyfingers sometimes. They come good too. But this hold up a little better. Ladyfingers kind of disintegrates quickly. When I use the ladyfingers, I usually don't dip it. I just brush it. Otherwise, they fall apart. So that's another thing to mention. If you're going to use ladyfingers, just brush them, brush the coffee. Yeah, don't dip them in, because if you dip them in, they're just going to fall apart. And you split them in half, like they're already split, so you can just do that. Now, what do you think so far? A lot of work, huh? Beautiful. There we go. Okay. A little messy, huh? Okay, but it's really good. I'll tell you. Here we go. We're just gonna kind of smooth it out. And then we're going to top it. Oh, I hate to waste all this. It's so good. We're going to top it with more biscotti, or savoiardi, or ladyfingers, whatever you're going to use. Okay? Now we dip this in. See how the coffee, I mean, it's just about gone here, huh? And push it down. It's not a cheap recipe. I mean, this kind of gets kind of expensive after a while. But it's a nice homemade thing. Okay, so we are all set with this. Now push it down like this. And then we are not through yet. We're going to sprinkle some of that chocolate that we had saved from the three squares. We saved some, so we could put the top here. Just cover it all up with this. Like that. And just to make sure, we're going to put a little bit of this unsweetened powdered chocolate. So you can just put some on, because you really should look brown on top. A mess, but you're gonna love it when we get through. Okay. Now, what we do with this, we cover it up nice with the handy wrap, like so. And the reason I want to cover it, it's for this reason too. Then once it's like this, then you can just push it down like this. And in it goes in the refrigerator. And look at the finished product. And we had to add a little Noel to make it look more festive. And now I'm going to cut a piece, even though I don't really want to, just to let you see what it looks like in the middle. Oops. And of course, the first one is always the hardest to come out, but we have to take it out. Okay. Let's see which is the best way to take this out so I don't mess it all up. Oh, not bad. Oh my goodness. You get all these really delicious flavors together. Oh, it's really, really good. Until next time, this is Clelia. Buon appetito e arrivederci alla prossima volta. And ciao, see you next year.